For the Wisconsin basketball team, it's off to Las Vegas, and the NIT semifinals will recap how the Badgers got there. And since I'm standing in the middle of the McLean Center, we're going to talk a little Badger football as spring practices are underway. We'll hear from head coach Luke Fickell, director of strength and conditioning Brady and senior receiver Chimere Dike. All coming up on today's edition of the Badger Sports Report.
Klesman high on the right, going to a siege in between the circles. So siege fakes left, moves right, inside to Hepburn, low to the right, up and in. Hepburn with 23, that matches a season high. A toss for Gilmore, sends to McGee between the circles. McGee darts it inside, caught by Wall, left shoulder turn, up right hand, good. Tyler Wall with two more, Badgers within two, 62-60 Liberty, 6:53 remaining. Now Hepburn between the circles, a pass for Klesman. Klesman against Porter. Klesman for three and the lead. Got it! Max Klesman with the first three in the game for the Badgers. Into Hepburn. Going to Wall at the top. Turns to Klesman high on the right. Klesman off the right wing and the lane goes up left hand. Good off the glass. 42.7 to play. Four left wing against Max Klesman. Inside feed knocked away a Sejan and stolen away. Here comes Klesman. Another Oregon turnover. Klesman feeds Wall baseline left. Feeds a Sejan low on the right. Layup good. Down to 3:20 remaining. Klesman throws to Hepburn. Fakes the three on the right wing. Darts it to Gilmore. Feeds a Sejan left side three. Book it. Connor a Sejan a triple. 54-51 Oregon. 3:10 remaining. Hepburn throwing to Crowell on the right wing. Back to Tyler Wall, top of the circle. Feeds Klesman for three in the lead. He hit it! Max Klesman a triple. 56-55, Wisconsin, a minute 35 remaining. A zone here from Oregon. Klesman feeds Wall. Shot clock at 5. Skip past Chucky. Snaps off a three, right side. Book it! Chucky Hepburn for three. And it's 59-57, Wisconsin. Winds up, heaves it deep, and it's knocked away. And Guerrier for three in the tie. Back rim, no good. And it's off to Las Vegas for the Wisconsin Badgers.
I didn't want to end the year because of what they've committed to us on such a, downer after the Big Ten tournament. This has served its purpose and then some, and got more basketball to play.
Here's Malusi, now the end around. Chimere Dike got a block from Mertz to the 10, to the 5. Touchdown, Wisconsin! Pass pops out of the air. It's picked off by Muma Jameta. He's gone. Braylon Allen all the way. Touchdown, Wisconsin! And it's picked off by Hunter Waller. There is a big, big win for the Wisconsin Badgers.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org. And is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
When you've been injured, you need the hometown team on your side. Trust us to get you back in the game. Call Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Kids eat free at all Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee locations. Get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree. Kids 12 and under choose from favorites like a burger and fries, grilled cheese, and chicken fingers, while adults can enjoy burgers, sandwiches, salads, and more. Dine in at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee stores and get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree every day. Only at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee.
These are operating engineers. They operate top-of-the-line, innovative machines and build stuff that matters. And operating engineers are well paid. They even get paid to train. As an apprentice, you can make $56,000 a year from day one during training. No school loans and no debt. When your training is complete, you'll have a stable career job that is high skill, high tech, and high pay. We need operating engineers right now. Your future can begin today.
Injured? You need a team you can trust. Call Gruber Law Offices today, serving the people of Wisconsin for over 30 years. Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Badger Athletics. One call, that's all.
Well, I think it's safe to say that as far as the fan base is concerned, there is as much excitement for spring football practices as we've seen in quite a while, maybe when Barry Alvarez took over back in 1990. And with that as a setup, we welcome Badgers head football coach Luke Fickell. You always say you live in kind of a vacuum. I don't know how aware you are of the excitement out there, but just in a nutshell, if you could, what have these first few months been like for you, going back to observing bowl practices, things you've been able to learn about your team so far?
Well, it's been awesome. Just developing relationships. And it's not just the players, it's the coaches too. This is a new group of guys together. A lot of guys that I've got some history with, but as you put them all together, there's a lot of mix that needs to be done. And then as we kind of get a lot closer towards spring ball, it's almost like Christmas morning coming, where you get to kind of let loose and see that next phase of a lot of the things that you've been working on, and actual football things and how guys handle that, react, respond, both as players and as coaches. So it's been unique. It's been awesome. The excitement and things like that, I don't get as much into from the outside. But I know it's great for our program and it's great for our kids, and you can feel it even within the program.
There are a couple of things that you as a staff say that catches everybody's attention. One of them is change is inevitable, growth is optional. Again, as we do this, they have not been on the field for a spring practice yet. But whatever body language tells you with this group, do you like the path that they're on right now and in that growth option that's ahead of them?
I do. You see a lot of things that you're excited about, and I mean that, and just how they've handled all the different situations, meaning, we had some mat drill stuff, and that's a 5:45 morning where you're doing things that have nothing to do with football, and how do they really handle it? How do they really accept it? How do they really embrace it? And do they attack it? And all those kinds of things has been a win for us. And then how those guys have kind of stayed together. You kind of walk through the locker room afterwards just to hear the talk. If they stick around on the field afterwards after you have some of those workouts and are kind of going back and forth with what happened to them, all of a sudden you start to get a feel like, okay, while it's going on, they hate it, but as they get off, they understand that it might not make you a better football player, but it makes you a better football team, and it's the things that we need to do going into spring ball.
I mentioned at the top that there is such a level of excitement about your team here in the spring. What's realistic for you as a staff, or what has been realistic expectations in previous years as to what a two deep could look like? Or you don't know tackle to tackle maybe who starts, but you can get an idea who plays. What's realistic to try to get out of this?
Well, I think that we got an opportunity in spring to kind of figure out some really key things for us, and we like to, not to define like ones and twos. I like to try to say we got 1As and 1Bs, and when you can find that, I think you got a really good chance. I want to be able to play 22 guys on both sides of the ball. I think that's really a key to sustaining things throughout the season, playing your best ball at the end of the year. If you're playing 13 guys on offense and 13 guys or 14 guys on defense, by the end of the season it's really difficult. So spring and fall are really critical at developing a lot of those things and not getting into who's the 1A and who's out there with the ones, and do you really have 8 offensive linemen or 8 defensive linemen that you feel like you can play with?
What level of live work do you like to do, scrimmage situation, during the course of spring ball?
Well, I would say every year is a little different. I think that when you know what kind of team you got, you can assess that a little bit more. I think that we're going to have to go a little bit more live ball than I've gone, and I think for twofold, finding out what it is that we've got. Taking care of the football and tackling are really critical things, and if you don't go live at times when you go into that first game, even through fall, it's if you don't know who you got, it's really difficult. Mm-hmm. And everybody'd say it's tackling. It's also taking care of the football too. So we'll go, not a ton, but we'll have 2 days, a spring scrimmage for sure, and then another Saturday scrimmage where we'll be on live situations even with the ones.
All right, final question here is probably the tough one because you haven't started the practices yet, but I'm going to ask you to put on your public relations hat. The launch, I know that people are asking about it. They're excited about it, April 22nd. As we sit here 4+ weeks away from it, How do you envision that looking like?
Well, it starts with 65 and sunny on April 22nd. So I've been guaranteed, I think you and a couple others are in charge of the weather, and we'll handle the things that are on the field. I look at it as, okay, everybody says, is that a spring game? Well, it's, in my mind, much better than a spring game. You don't divide up your offensive line. You don't divide up your defensive line. You don't give a kind of a half offense and a half defense, so to speak. You go your best on your best. Ones on ones, twos on twos. It's scored in a unique way. Really nothing more than to put challenges on everybody to see kind of what it is you really got when when the chips are down, when there's actual pressure on the line, when there's something to gain or to win. That's what we want on that day. It'll be the one time it'll be a true live day where it'll be everything we got, nothing held back. It's not, hey, it's only these 5 defenses or these 6 or 7 plays. It's, hey, let's figure out what we've got. This is a live situation. This is the closest thing that we will get until that game 1.
So be here. As we said, it will be 65 and sunny. Count on it, unless it isn't. But be here anyway for the launch on April 22nd here at Camp Randall Stadium. UWBadgers.com, your source for all the info leading up to that event. We'll take a break. More to come as we continue with the Badgers Sports Report.
You'll hear things like, you're going to need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're going to be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
Kids eat free at all Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee locations. Get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree. Kids 12 and under choose from favorites like a burger and fries, grilled cheese, and chicken fingers, while adults can enjoy burgers, sandwiches, salads, and more. Dine in at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee stores and get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree every day. Only at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee.
Well, if you're a Badger football fan, I would imagine you are if you're watching this show, you've been noticing on social media highlight clips of what these guys with the football team have been doing here in recent weeks, last few months, getting ready for spring football and beyond. And with that, we welcome Badger football Director of Strength and Conditioning, Brady Collins. And one of the first things I read about you, Brady, is that you like heavy squats, big time work on the bench, fast times. But you also point out it's a lot more than all of that. Can you explain what you mean there?
Yeah, I think, our profession sometimes gets, a rep of, we're just crazy guys that scream and yell and, get the term meathead, which, yeah, we are, deep down we are. But also, we're all former college football players. And I know that at this level, the next level, it doesn't really matter what you bench, squat, and run. It's all about how well you play football. So, I always say that's the extra, and that's what's really cool is what generally tends to happen. The guys that invest and give their effort and all their energy and their passion to the weight room and to everything with football, well, they technically get stronger and they get faster. What does that do? It makes them a better football player. So it's been really cool and exciting, and just can't wait to keep it going.
The competition-based drills that, again, we have been able to see a little bit as fans or as consumers on social media, if it's the mat drill, the rope pull, what are the origins of that?
Yeah, I mean, football is the most, competitive, violent, rigorous game there is, right? And it's the greatest game there is. So if you're just competing on Saturdays, I mean, you might, get a couple here and there, but you got to compete every single day. It's innate. It's, an intensity and urgency. We'll start the day off with one, we'll finish it. We'll have them throughout the entire workout. And we carry it throughout the entire building. I mean, it's not just competitive of physical natures, it could be mental, it could be working as a group to, figure something simple as that as a puzzle. I mean, it really is, getting kids to talk and communicate with different members of their team, just like they would on the field.
How you do anything is how you do everything. What was the first time that you heard it? When was the first time that you said it with the players or anybody else?
Oh, definitely, with Coach Fick, him and I, as we always talk throughout the off seasons and daily, very fortunate. I mean, he's a guy, he understands how valuable the weight room is. I mean, he's down there every morning, 6 a.m. grinding in there with those guys. So that's cool for those guys to see too. But he understands that in order to do what we need to do in practice, on the football field, that's got to be a priority. So he definitely, entrusts us, and, but, heard that quite a bit ago, and, we we brought it to their attention probably after the first week, and just to let them know that it's how you really do anything is how you do everything, whether it's the way you train, the way you practice, the way you eat, take care of your body, you recover, academics, all of that plays into everything that you do. So
they've been, obviously every coaching staff has different philosophies. They've had really well respected, obviously, strength and conditioning coaches here, but a name that I have heard through the years is Mickey Marotti at Ohio State. Urban Meyer talked about him glowingly and so on and so forth, and you worked with him. What kind of things do you learn from someone like that you implement now?
I mean, again, this program has a rich tradition of great coaches throughout the whole board, and it's just an honor to be here and continue that and elevate it. But Coach Mick's a great dear friend and a mentor, and I would say the number one thing I learned from him, it had nothing to do about workouts, had nothing to do about sets and reps, when to run, when to bench, when to squat, how to do this, it was all how to run a program, how to, get kids to buy in physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, not in you, because that'll happen through time, but in each other, in the program, in the process. And so, I owe a lot to him, thankful for my time with him, and looking forward to that matchup down the road.
Coach Fick has talked about, we'll look forward. Like a lot of people around here are looking forward to that. Not that we look too far ahead, but some of us can. Coach Fick has joked about when you guys first got here that you were all living together for a while.
That's right.
And then he said, I got to get out of here. So apparently no off switch for Brady Collins and most of you guys, right?
Yes. Again, fortunate that, I have a loving, supportive wife and two great kids. My daughter's in gymnastics, highly competitive. She's only 6.5, and she's going to finish, second grade. So they're not going to move up till, in the beginning of summer. So I'm up here. Yep. When we first got here, we were all living together, and my off switch is normally my kids and kind of degressing and becoming dad. And when I get home now, and if I'm around all the other guys, they keep me going. They want energy, so I can't help it.
All right. You will not help but get excited when you watch the social media work of these guys. It even inspires old guys like me to maybe get on a treadmill or get in a weight room now and then. That's Brady Collins, Badger Football Director of Strength and Conditioning. We'll take a break. More to come as we continue with the Badger Sports Report.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. We believe in financial security for Wisconsin public school employees and their families. WEA member benefits, proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. WEAbenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.
WEA member benefits, dedicated to helping Wisconsin public school employees become financially secure with programs designed for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
Obviously, changes going on with the Badger football fan, but a lot of the same faces, and one of the real good ones joining us right now, Badgers receiver Chimere Dike. And Chim, you mentioned there are a lot of changes, and with strength and conditioning and with everything. What's been the biggest adjustment or the biggest change that you have gone through here so far?
Yeah, I think honestly, just coming back and kind of the coaches go about things in a different way. And I've loved the way that they've gone about things, but kind of initially adjusting to that, and it was easy because I feel like one of the things that our team does really well is our work ethic and our approach to things, and I think the coaches noticed that, and we've had a great winter so far, and I'm really excited to go into spring ball and get going.
I was talking with Brady Collins about some of the social media clips that are out there. They've been there before, obviously, and fans have gotten a glimpse of the competitive nature. But this is like high octane and the competition-based stuff, the mat drills, the rope pull, and all of that. What's that been like? The first time some of this stuff may have been introduced to you guys.
Yeah, I think that one of the big things that we preach is competitive spirit. Pushing one another, and we've had a super competitive winter. You guys saw a little glimpse of it, through matches and stuff like that. But I think the more competitive your team can be, it just raises the play of every single person on the team. So I think the coaches have done a great job of creating competition. The players have done a great job of really taking advantage of that.
I've talked with Coach Fickell, and he gets some sense, I think, even he does, of the excitement externally about spring ball, about watching you guys, getting an idea of what this offense might look like. That's us on the outside. You're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
What's this been like for you, the excitement level that you have with how this offense will look moving forward?
I mean, I think that, I'm super excited, especially going in the spring, kind of the first time that, you really get a dive into the offense, more full speed, game-like reps. And, I'm already, pumped to work with all the quarterbacks, all the receivers, Coach Longo, so far working with them, it's been great. And I think that, we can really be a dangerous offense, and I'm excited to see us evolve throughout the spring.
You mentioned the quarterbacks. There are several of them. I mean, Miles Burkett, beg your pardon. Marshall Howe. If it's Tanner Mordecai, Nick Evers, Braden Locke, those guys, how much have you been able to get to know one another here in these last several weeks?
Yeah, I think whether it's throwing, going to training table, eating together, being in the weight room. I've worked out with the QBs and the receivers every single day. So being able to see how they work, how they tick, and seeing them in competitive environments, and also just more relaxed environments, like having a meal with them. I've gotten to know them pretty well, and I've loved working with them, and excited to work with them in the spring.
I've talked with you even this past year about the leadership role, and I would imagine it's more important than ever as you continue to move through your college career and be a very productive receiver here. Have the younger guys, not just younger guys, newer guys to the program, period, be it transfers, whatever, have they been kind of coming up to you, picking your brain a little bit on life at the University of Wisconsin?
Yeah, a little bit. I think that the big thing is that we kind of bounce ideas off each other, right? They all have different experiences, coming from different schools. Then the guys in my room, obviously, have a lot of experience themselves, especially Skylar and Kaylee coming back. So I think that, our room's, experience room, a lot more experience than last year, and being able to kind of bounce ideas and still, see myself as a leader and somebody who's like to set the example of how we work and how we approach things. It's been great, and I think that our room can be really dangerous.
You just answered my next question, because you mentioned a couple guys already, and with some of the new additions here, some guys who have been in other programs. Dangerous seems like a pretty good word. You're pretty excited about this room, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I love the competition level within our room. There's a variety of guys who have different skill sets that can add things to our room. And we've been approaching things the right way, having a really competitive offseason. I think it's going to make every single person in our room a better player.
Promotional hat I'll ask you to put on for the last question. As we talk, you haven't had the first spring practice yet, but there's a lot of anticipation for April 22nd, the launch as they call it. For you, you have the practices here in the McLean Center or in an empty Camp Randall Stadium, but anytime you can get out there with thousands of fans watching, that's a big benefit, isn't it?
Yeah, even when I went home, people were asking me about the game. I think that anytime, especially for younger players, to get out in front of fans, because there is a little bit of a different aspect that comes with it, and I think it's a great experience, and I think it's something that's super exciting for our fans. We have such great fans, and be able to see them and kind of enjoy a practice with them is something that I think is really cool.
All right, Chimere Dike put up some impressive numbers this past season. More to come this fall. We'll take a break and have more as the Badger Sports Report continues.
These are operating engineers. They operate top-of-the-line, innovative machines and build stuff that matters. And operating engineers are well paid. They even get paid to train. As an apprentice, you can make $56,000 a year from day one during training. No school loans and no debt. When your training is complete, you'll have a stable career job that is high skill, high tech, and high pay. We need operating engineers right now. Your future can begin today.
You'll hear things like, you're gonna need to see a specialist.
That what you have is serious, like really serious.
And then you meet them, your medical team.
With research and clinical trials and new treatments.
With better procedures that lead to better results.
Then it hits you, you're gonna be okay.
UW Health. Remarkable medicine. Remarkable care.
The Badger Sports Report is presented by UW Health, the healthcare team for the Badgers. Learn more at uwsportsmedicine.org. and is brought to you by the Construction Business Group, Wisconsin operating engineers and respected contractors. BuildingWisconsinTogether.com. And by Gruber Law Offices, a proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics. One call, that's all.
We thank head coach Luke Fickell, director of strength and conditioning Brady Collins, as well as senior wide receiver Chimere Dike. Remember the launch, mark your calendars, April 22nd at Camp Randall Stadium. Come on out and join us as we get ready for another season of Wisconsin football. Thanks for watching.
This has been an exclusive presentation from Learfield.
Kids eat free at all Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee locations. Get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree. Kids 12 and under choose from favorites like a burger and fries, grilled cheese, and chicken fingers, while adults can enjoy burgers, sandwiches, salads, and more. Dine in at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee stores and get a free kids meal with the purchase of an adult entree every day, only at Wahlburgers at Hy-Vee.
We believe in education. We believe in public schools. At WEA Member Benefits, we believe in helping Wisconsin public school employees and their families achieve their financial goals by providing personal insurance, retirement and investment, and financial planning programs that are designed specifically for the education community. Proud partner of Wisconsin Athletics, WEAbenefits.com.
My favorite breakfast is Odyssey yogurt. I asked Mommy where it comes from, and she took me to a dairy farm to learn all about milk and, most importantly, cows. Wisconsin cows are definitely the happiest, which means they make the tastiest yogurt. My favorite is blueberry. What's your flavor? Support your local farmers. EIEI Odyssey.